And if you're ready and wish, we'll go ahead and do the practice. And as part of the practice, I'll invite you to bring up a difficult situation. And you may already be experiencing, some difficulties right now. So you can just work with whatever's here. But if you do choose to bring up a difficult situation, and I would just ask you to make sure it's something mild, like 2 to 3 on a scale of 10, because it's easy to get overwhelmed and we can't learn when we're in overwhelm. So the invitation now would be just to find a comfortable place. And this will probably be about, 15 to 20 minutes. So if you want to lie down, sometimes lying down is a great way to work with difficult emotions. But just something that's comfortable, some position you can be in. And remember, it's not like you need to be frozen in position. You feel free to shift and move. Allow yourself that kindness. Maybe start with just a few intentional deep breaths. And by that, I mean really notice what it's like to take a deep breath, maybe pausing and then feeling the oxygen, the air coming in, that lifting, that rising with the inhalation. The long, slow release, letting that exhalation extend out. Because what you're doing is you're softening through the body and you're activating parts of our nervous system that are more associated with ease and relaxation. So again, if you wish, go slow so you don't hyperventilate. Maybe one more deep breath. Just to reset yourself, recognizing that we're going to do something here that can be very helpful and healing. Letting the breath return to normal. You do this with your eyes open or closed, whatever supports you, whatever you prefer. And we'll start just by checking into the body. And by that, I mean exploring your body and seeing if there's areas of tightness that want to be released. Particularly in the middle of a busy day, lots of things going on, our mind is spinning, and just it results in tightness, like perhaps in the jaw or the neck and the shoulders. So just seeing if there's tension there that doesn't really need to be there and softening into that. So it's just great practice for really bringing some ease in. And you can do this in about 30 seconds. Just letting your breath be kind of like a massage, raising and lowering the shoulders, softening with each exhalation, maybe checking down into the abdomen. And that's often an area where we carry tightness, and just see what it's like to, not really force anything to happen, but just allow the abdomen to really soften, letting that softening spread down into the legs, maybe up into the torso, softening the arms. It's really this idea of just being willing to experiment here, really being willing to see what happens. No agenda, no expectations. Just really taking some time to learn about yourself, to understand yourself, to even care for yourself. And as the mind wanders off, just allow that to happen, maybe with a little smile. Our minds are always so busy. So just practice labeling that as thinking, just thinking, and then just coming back into monitoring the body, softening, easing, letting gravity take over here, settling into the chair, settling into your being. And now from this place of maybe more presence, maybe scan your life and see if there is a situation, a place of difficulty, something that's bringing up some difficult emotions. And like I said, it doesn't serve well to bring up something that really brings up strong emotions or trauma. We're looking for something that you get a charged reaction, like, wow, I want to have a little more balance with this, but not overwhelming. It could be so many things. It'd be simple as being stuck in traffic, or an irritating comment by a coworker or co-student, an assignment you're worried about, you know, something that's bringing up maybe some hurt or shame or sadness. Some reactive emotions here you want to have more balance in the midst of. And really bring the situation to mind. The other person, the words, the setting, what happened, what might happen. And just like a movie, replaying this and maybe pausing at the frame where you feel like you're most triggered. And the R of rain is simply to recognize what's going on. So see if you can name what emotion or emotions are here. Just naming it softly as you would for a friend. Yeah, anger is here. Yeah, I see that. Oh, I see you're hurt. Oh, I see you're scared. Just whatever you're most aware of, just allowing yourself to name that with kindness and see what it feels like, just to validate yourself. Yeah, this emotion is here. And if there's lots of emotions, you can name them all. Or if it's hard to name, you can just say confusion. Just seeing what it's like to really name it, pause, validate it. And as we name it, we then move into the A, which is the allowing. See if you can allow this difficult emotion to be here. Maybe just checking into the body. Sometimes the body begins to tighten as we start to feel an emotion that's difficult. So again, breathing, softening the body, just making space for it. You don't have to like it. Doesn't mean you're going to ignore the situation. You're not going to do something about it. What we're really doing is just seeing if we can allow this difficult emotion to be here. Sometimes it even helps to use a phrase, something as simple as yes. Yes, this is here. It's okay. I can be with this. It belongs. And if it's possible, maybe even just welcoming it. This emotion, or these emotions, they're messengers. And I welcome you. Again, just breathing and easing, because by allowing and not fighting it, you stop feeding the emotion and you're better able to see it clearly. And sometimes in this space, you can see maybe layers of emotions, like the difficult emotion, but wanting to push it away, wanting to run away from it, or the difficult emotion and feeling shame because it's here, or annoyance. So really take some time naming these things and allowing them, letting them flow. And then we'll move on to the I of rain, the investigate. We're going to spend some time here. And remember, this doesn't mean thinking about the situation. Again, the mind's busy, it's talking, just again, labeling that as thinking. What we really want to do is see what's going on in the body. And you may find that you actually have to recharge the situation. That's interesting right there. Sometimes simply recognizing it, allowing it, the emotion begins to fade. So if you need to recharge it, that's fine because you really want to ask what most wants attention here. Just asking your body, what does this emotion feel like? You're just seeing if there's a place where anger or judgment or disappointment or fear show up. Getting really curious here. Sometimes it shows up in the neck, maybe some heat, or perhaps contraction in the chest. Just almost like, a science project here. What is this emotion doing? Is there a clenching to it? A rawness? Is there an achiness or a squeezing? And sometimes an emotion can actually form a shape inside you, like a knot or a dark space. And as you notice it, as you get curious, does it shift? Does it move in the body? Quivering or undulating? And you could even ask, Does it have a color? And we're just giving ourselves a little bit of space around it, becoming curious, really interested in how this very important part of ourselves that we often ignore, how it really deeply shows up. Maybe seeing if there's tensing in the body around it. What's the jaw doing? What's the neck and shoulders as this emotion is here? Are we struggling against it? You can just return back to the allow. Yes, this is here. It's here. And as we allow it to be here, as we get curious about how it's showing up in the body, sometimes it can help to ask yourself if there's something you're believing here about yourself or others when this is happening. And this really isn't an intellectual inquiry. It's more just seeing if beneath this emotions, there's some limiting belief, like, do you believe you're not understood? Or that you won't be able to handle what happens? Or that you're not special? Or that you're stuck this way? Again, this is an exploration just for you. And there may or may not be a belief. But you see if there's something underneath the emotion that's causing the emotion to arise. Some vulnerability, some worry, some boundary that's been crossed. Just opening up to what's here, allowing it, feeling it. And if all these things could communicate, the feelings, the beliefs, what would this emotion want you to know? Maybe there's words, strong feeling, an image. So what is this emotion trying to tell you? And there may not be an obvious answer. Just practicing being with this can be very powerful, can create some ease. And you may even want to ask the emotion, how do you want me to be with you? Asking yourself, what does this place most need right now? Does it want to trust something or to feel something in particular? Or simply to feel loved and appreciated? What is this emotion asking for? And as you do this, see if there's a possibility of responding to this place inside you from the most loving and wise part of you. This is the N, the nurturing. So if this was a small child or a hurt pet, how can you care for this? Sometimes it helps to do a little shift in posture here as you're getting in touch with this wiser place. You might want to take a deeper breath. Maybe find yourself adjusting your posture a little bit, a slight shift, a rise. Just really getting this sense of your own strength, your own power here, your most awakened, wise, and caring heart. But staying in touch with that vulnerability, just listening. Just calling on your wisdom and your love. Sense into what you can offer this vulnerability. And if you feel it's in a particular place, sometimes it helps to take your hand, maybe put it over your heart or where you're feeling the emotion. Just these hands that so readily offer care to those around us. Can you let that energy flow into yourself? Just really letting yourself know that you're here for you in whatever way you need. This is just beginning to practice being kind to ourselves. And maybe there's words that you need to hear here. What words would you want to be whispered in your ear to support you with this difficult emotion? It could be something as simple as, hey, I'm sorry this is happening. I care for you. Or, we've got this. We can handle this. We know what to do. Just you'll be okay. If it's hard to come up with words, imagine a dear friend who's going through the exact same situation. What would you say to them? They were experiencing these same feelings, the same process. You can simply offer those words to yourself. And you can also draw on all the other things that you find strength from, perhaps a higher power, that sense of connection, family, friends, beings that are dear to you. Just holding this emotion in this space of self-care, but also knowing you're so much more. People around you, the people you care about, spiritual beings. Just breathing and feeling this power, this ability to hold these difficult things that's in you always. I'm going to read a brief poem by the poet Rumi. He says, "Don't turn away. Keep your gaze on the bandaged place. That is where the light enters you." And then as we settle in through the practice, we do something we call after the rain. And in this moment, just to see if you can rest in this heart space and awareness that is here. Just relax and let this fill you. Dissolving into this awareness, this kind awareness that can hold yourself, the emotions, the feelings in this open space. And if perhaps you found a belief that perpetuates this emotion, this suffering, maybe you can even ask yourself, what would I be like if I didn't have this belief? What would it be like if these thoughts didn't stop me from experiencing all I want to experience? And just meeting that with kindness too. Smile, a kind word. Just recognize that this practice is more the truth of who you are than any story you could tell about yourself. Just taking a moment to trust in and rest in the presence that is your true home. And if you're ready, we can go ahead and release that practice.